Good morning. It is a gorgeous Saturday morning here in Washington, D.C., and I'm going to the grocery store. Hi everyone, my name is Bambi and I am a work from home mother of 3 girls. I have a husband, work full-time, run my own business, and things have not slowed down for me one bit. Do me a favor, if you like this video, you like the content I'm posting, please do subscribe and make sure you give this video a thumbs up because it lets YouTube know that, hey, we like what this gal's doing. All right, so today, here's what's on the schedule. All right, I am going to the grocery store to pick up my normal groceries like I always do, but I'm also today going to be picking up a couple of things that are going to help me do something that you've probably been thinking about doing too. Cleaning your produce. Cleaning, what was that noise? There's so much construction going on. Well, construction has not slowed down in Washington, D.C., if you're wondering. Anywho, produce, cleaning your produce, cleaning those fruits and vegetables, making sure that they're safe to eat for you and your family. How do you do that? A lot of people are wondering, and I'm one of the same people wondering, so I've done a little research, and today on my grocery store run, I am going to be picking up a couple of items to make sure my produce is clean, and then I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do it. So, come on, let's go. I just pulled up at the store, and what do I need? Gotta get my purse, of course, and I need my mask. Yes, I do. Not messing around. Let's go. Do I look weird? Yes. Do I care? No, I don't. I mean, look at that. Target, Ace Hardware, and the Container Store. Just throw in a Trader Joe's or a Whole Foods or an Aldi. Oh, and I'd be in heaven. Okay. I've been in and out of the store, and as you can see, I'm in the back seat of my car. Not in the front seat anymore. Let me tell you why. Because as I've gotten older, well, you know what? Not even as I've gotten older. This has been probably since I was a young adult, or at least young enough to notice it. I get very uncomfortable if I get too hungry. Like, I'll get like the shakes a little bit. It's a little embarrassing, but it is what it is. I purposely, when I go to the store, if I know that I'm not going to be like in my kitchen anytime soon, I purposely will make sure I eat, because A, you don't need to be hungry in the grocery store, because then you want to buy everything that is no good, and that's like a proven theory, I think, for a lot of people. But I just get uncomfortable, so I purposely ate breakfast before I left, and I got so hungry in the store just now. Look at my hair. I got so hungry in the store that I was like, if I don't eat something, I've started to feel like lightheaded. So I got some. My sister introduced me to these. This is turkey jerky, and it's like they're super high in protein, 7 grams of protein and 1 little puny stick, 60 calories. Not that I'm a huge calorie counter, but, and there's I don't think there's any sugar added to it either. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of sugar. There's 1 gram of sugar in it. And then I grabbed some cashews. And I wanted some fresh fruit. I really wanted a banana, but like, I'm so picky about my bananas. If they're too spotty and like soft, ugh. Does anybody feel like that? Then they can't be like super green either. They have to be like perfectly, beautifully yellow. So when I buy bananas, I have like a 1 day, a 1 or 2 day window of when I can eat them. And I got myself a little treat, and I really could have gone for like a Reese cup or like some M&Ms, if we're gonna be honest. Oh my gosh. Anyway, but I didn't. But this is still probably just as bad. But I've never had it, and I see a lot of people with this. It's the Chobani Flips. And this is the this is not healthy. This is the chocolate marshmallow flavored low fat Greek yogurt with cocoa coated almonds. Let's just be real, it's chocolate, right? With roasted almonds and waffle cone. Doesn't that sound good? So I thought that would be good. So I'm gonna enjoy this right now. Yes, I'm in the back of my minivan all by myself. And look, I even have the doors open. This is pitiful. Look, on each side. So I can have fresh air. People probably think I'm crazy. I might be. I don't care. And I had to shed my jacket because I got so hot in the store, like feeling all lightheaded. Had to take my jacket off. It's so embarrassing. Anyway, I'm in my car. I'm gonna have this little like mini snack, or it's not a mini snack. It's a healthy snack. Healthy as in good sized snack. I'm gonna eat this, and then I've got another store to run into before I wrap up for the day. Okay, bye. Hence the name Flips. Ooh, and guess what? I just remembered that before I left my house, I grabbed 2 clementines. So that's gonna be, it's gonna like round out my whole snack. I feel so good about that. And P.S. this is like dessert. I mean, I looked at the ingredients. It has 14 grams of sugar. Was it worth it? Yes, it was. Okay, let's have something healthy. And yes, I have my feet up too. Like, it's sunny, the birds are chirping, I'm having a snack. And I'm not gonna lie, this is a win. Okay, I'm done. Now, I'm lucky in that all the stores, that's embarrassing to be climbing out of the back seat of your minivan and nobody else is in there. I'm lucky in that all the stores I'm going to today are all on the same street in DC. Wisconsin Avenue has all kinds of stores. So everywhere I have to go today, they're all like, most of them are like within walking distance, but everywhere I have to go today is right on Wisconsin Avenue in DC. Super easy, and it allows me to knock out my errands really, really quick. Okay, I'm going back to stores. You guys, it doesn't take much to keep me happy, okay? But I got a few things at the store that I'm beside myself about. And before I go to the haul, before we do the how to wash produce, I just have to show you these little things. I'm so excited. Okay, number one, in Target. I've never bought Target candles before, but one of my coworkers, thanks Ina, told me that she loves Target candles. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna try it because I love a candle, especially on like a rainy day. Oh, or in the evening, like when you're just chillaxing. Okay, well here's the candle I got. This is passion fruit and amber, coconut and soy natural wax blend. Look at this beautiful candle. Oh, look. It's a 3-wick candle. And I am just excited. It smells so good. I'm really particular about scents because as I've gotten older, smells make me nauseated, certain smells. If it's like too perfumey, I can't even wear, my favorite perfume for years was Issey Miyake, if that's even how you say it. I can't even wear it anymore because it makes me nauseated because evidently I'm a crybaby. So this, and then, this is so silly. If you haven't met Rocco Frazier, my little dog, who I'm obsessed with, he's so rotten. I found this little poop bag dispenser at Whole Foods, okay? The dispenser is made of corn, and then the bags They're unscented bags. Maybe they should be scented. But I think they're like biodegradable bags. They better be. Yeah. Bio-based, it says. They better be. Where's it say? Helps reduce the adverse impact of environmental and health-related issues. So, USDA certified bio-based products. So they're basically, oh yeah, but yeah. So I'm excited about this. So I'm gonna put this on his little leash. And look, it's like a fire hydrant. And it just velcros on. I thought that, oh no, it has like a little strappy thing. And then it velcros down. I thought that was cute. Am I a sucker? Yes. Do I care? No. Okay. Up next, we're gonna do the grocery haul, and then let's get into washing produce. I got a couple, oh, I'll show you what I got. This too. There's a hint. Okay, but there's other ways too, so stay tuned. Okay, let's go. This is crazy because normally on a Saturday, Wisconsin Avenue would be packed. And I mean, there would be people in that crosswalk right in front. There would be all kinds of traffic. Boy, this is a reality check. These few cars you're seeing, this is nothing for Wisconsin Avenue on a Saturday afternoon, and I'm not kidding. Here we go. This is the grocery haul. Let's go from left to right. First, I have these storage bins. I just picked up two, but it's just to put some spare stuff in that I have sitting around the house. This is a mixture, by the way. This is a few different stores, so bear with me. I'm not going to tell you what I got where. A lot of it you can kind of see, like 365, you know, is a Whole Foods brand. Good and Gather, you know, is a Target brand. So just, it is what it is, and I'm going to run through it and show you. And then we'll get to washing the produce so I can show you how to do that. All right, I got a bag of organic Fuji apples. Fuji, my favorite. They're so delicious. Of course, do you have kids? Do they call you while you're at the grocery store and say, Mom, get me fill in the blank? Well, this was what one of my girls called me and said, Mom, can you give me some brownie mix? So I got her this one. Supreme Triple Chunk Betty Crocker Delights. I've never bought that one before, but there it is. Gum. If you ever see me and you want a piece of gum, I'm your girl. I always have gum, and my kids have figured that out, and now they find it. So I don't even buy it in the checkout aisle. I buy it in the candy aisle where I can get larger packs. I need to start getting it from Costco. Vinegar. There's a little spoiler alert for one of the things we're going to use to clean our produce. Also have some beans here I got to stock up on. Black beans, pinto beans, garbanzo beans. Some unsalted butter. I always have unsalted butter. You open my refrigerator, there it is. There's that candle I showed you earlier. Oh, my candle. I cannot wait to burn a candle. I love how a good candle smells. Cilantro. I'm not a fan of cilantro. It tastes like soap in my mouth. Say amen if you're with me. But one of my girls wants to make some pico de gallo, and you need cilantro for that. I can handle it if it's cut up in like little itty bitty tiny pieces, but I don't like a whole lot of it in there. But anyway, that's her recipe, so I got that for her. Also grabbed some microwave popcorn. My girls have been loving that lately. This is their favorite, the butter skinny pop, but I was in Whole Foods and I saw that there, so I grabbed it. Also picked up some quart-sized freezer baggies. I always just like to have those. I try to usually grab two when I'm out, but I only grabbed one today because I already have another one, so there's that. Tomato paste. This is the tube of tomato paste. I grabbed two just to have an extra one for when I run out, but I love the tube. That's really, really handy. Some pesto. One of my girls asked me for that. Some salsa. They've got mild, medium, and hot, and I like to get the medium. Some garlic paste. I've never bought garlic paste before. I'm curious to see how this works out. I do love a fresh bulb of garlic, you know, but the garlic paste, there you go. go. Now, have I ever bought seeds in my life? No. But I happened to be standing in line at Whole Foods. You saw that little line I showed you earlier, and they had some seeds there. These were, look at that, $2.50 for a pack of seeds, and they didn't have a whole lot there. And my husband's dabbling in some container gardening, so which is kind of a task in the city. We are in Washington D.C. if you don't know already, but we're trying it out. He's got these 5-gallon buckets and these cute little felt little plant grower things. Anyway, so I picked those up for him. I thought he would have fun with that. So I've got the spinach, some cat grass because we have a cat. I thought she would enjoy that, if that's even what it's for. Oh yeah, that's what it's for. Some spaghetti squash, radishes, beets, and cucumber for pickles. I thought those would be good. All right, so Benadryl. These are the ones that are in packs of 2. Normally I would just go ahead and buy the big pack. I even go for the store brand. I don't care. They all work. But my girls that have allergies, I like for them to be able to keep it, for the ones that are older, I like for them to be able to keep it in their backpack or in their sports bag because they have what's called oral allergy syndrome, where different fruits and vegetables just drive them nuts and make their tongue and mouth itch and their throat, and this will knock it out. So I let them keep that in their bag, and yes, they're allowed to do that when they're older at their school. So there's that. One of my girls before I left said, will you please get me a face mask? And it had to be a peel-off face mask, not a sheet mask. It had to be the peel-off, so I picked that up for her. 2 jalapenos to go with that pico de gallo that we were talking about. I grabbed some deodorant. That was a 2-pack. That's just a single one. I grabbed, oh, this, you saw this already. Should I be ashamed of myself that one's opened in the back? That's my turkey sausage. I'll get to this in just a second, okay? Also have some organic freezer pops. The price on these is not good, I'm not gonna lie, but they are 100% organic juice. I did over the last week buy some reusable popsicle molds, so I won't need to be doing this, but they're juice. It's all juice, no added sugar, and they're really fun for the kids. The fruit punch is what really disappears first in my house. Okay, I also have this AHA drink. Jen Chapin, that's her channel, Jen Chapin, has this in her grocery hauls a lot, and I love what she cooks, and I mean, I love it. And I thought, you know what, she has a really, I would say, a good palate. Like everything she makes just seems delicious. She buys these. So I thought, you know what, I'll grab those for my kids. And we had it in another flavor previously and we loved it. So here's the blueberry pomegranate and the peach honey down there on the bottom. Okay, I'm a sucker. What does that say? Oprah's favorite things. Oprah's favorite things. I saw Oprah's favorite things and I had to buy these chips. It says, let's see, Detroit Friends Potato Chips Company, obviously out of Detroit. I love to support a small business. Yeah, and they were in Whole Foods. Whole Foods will carry a lot of local, well, that's not local to me though, but they'll carry a lot of small business products. So I wanted to support the smaller business. If I could get them in Detroit, they'd probably make more of a percentage off of it. But I also grabbed the cashews. You saw those when I had my snack a little earlier, along with this. Yeah, there it is. Also picked up some tissue paper. One of my girls has given her friends a birthday present for her 13th birthday and wanted to have her favorite colors in tissue paper. Of course, I have all kinds of white tissue paper, and she said, no, it has to be colors. So there it is. Paper towels. I did just get some paper towels from Costco, but they're kind of hard to come by here lately, so I wanted to make sure I picked those up. Didn't eat more beef stew. We do not eat this normally, but I just wanted to have it in my little stock just in case of an emergency. Also picked up a can of diced green chilies. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. I like them in chili, and they'll be good in other stuff, but I wanted to make sure I picked those up. Also grabbed these artichoke hearts. I'm going to make some spinach dip, and artichoke hearts go in there. So I picked that up. Bananas. We talked earlier about bananas, right? Well, anytime I buy bananas, I buy the ones that I can eat if they're available, that aren't too green. This is how I would eat my banana, by the way. A lot of my husband thinks I'm crazy. One of my daughters would eat them like this. I can't. No, I can't do it. This, when I see this, that means smoothies and banana bread. When I see this, I've got about 2 days to eat the banana. So I always grab both if they're both available. These, I'll let them sit for a couple of days. They got kind of beat up en route. They didn't look that bad. I mean, gosh, they really didn't look that bad when I got them. But they'll get nice and spotty over the next couple of days, and then I'll freeze them. I'll peel them, put them in a baggie, and then freeze them. Grab some eggs. Here's my little doggy doo bags that I showed you earlier. I'm just beside myself about that. I think that is so darn cute. And the other day I was walking my dog and forgot the bags, and luckily, I mean, yeah, he did his business, and luckily somebody walked by me with the dog, and I had to say, "Hi, do you happen to have an extra bag?" So embarrassing. But I've had people ask me too. And of course, anyone that has a dog that's anywhere near responsible is happy to share. Enough of that conversation, sorry. Okay, let's move on. Let's see, berries. I've got 2 strawberries, 1 blackberry, 1 raspberry, I think of blueberries. I could eat those like candy. They're so good. I grabbed some probiotics for my kids. Do you guys do probiotics? It's to help you balance out your gut, have healthy bacteria in your body. Like if you ever do antibiotics, well, this is the opposite. Antibiotics can kill all the good bacteria that you have going on. This is the good bacteria that you have going on. So my kids do these, and I have some as well, and my husband has some as well. These go in the refrigerator too, by the way. They had a 1 wipe limit at Target, so I picked up 1 of each, and that was a-okay with them. They told me that was okay, so that's what I did. And that was all they had, by the way, of like antibacterial wipes. These days, though, I'm more careful about washing my hands like a bazillion times a day, hand sanitizer if I don't have it, and then that's a close third as my backup. I showed you this earlier. There's my veggie wash. Gonna show you a little bit more about that. There's the cleaner again. I bought 2 of those because they were available. They didn't have a limit, but they did have like 10 sitting there, and I thought, you know what, I'm not gonna clear out the shelf. Other people need to get it too, so I just picked up 2. One of my girls is gluten-free the majority of the time, so I picked up these tortillas. We do tortillas a lot, like quesadillas, tacos, wraps, stuff like that. So I picked up some chickpea flour tortilla shells for her. Also needed some cotton balls or cotton rounds. Same difference to me. So I picked those up. Here's my one of my favorite brands of dish soap. Okay, well, hold on. Orange juice, a little treat for my kids. I don't always buy these little things of juice, but you know, I just thought, you know, so I usually do it like for road trips. If we have to get up really early in the morning and we get up so early that nothing is open for breakfast, I usually get these for that. But I just thought, you know, we're quarantined, give them something a little fun. And they get it. They were like, oh, when they saw it. They were like, oh, it's like road trip juice. Okay, so this is just some extra like packs of storage containers. Sorry, I had that too close. And it was a better deal. Like they had this size separate, and then they had that middle size there separate. You see that? And it was like $1 less just to get the variety pack, so I did that. Okay, last thing that I have, I think I've gotten everything else on there, is this. This is Reed's Ginger Brew. You may have seen this on my grocery hauls before, but this is our favorite ginger beer because it doesn't have sugar in it. I know I'm not going to be able to zoom in on that ingredients list very well, but this is the only ginger brew, ginger beer, ginger ale that I've ever been able to find that does not have sugar in it. So if you're making cocktails like a Moscow Mule or anything like that, especially during quarantine, right? They're calling them quarantinis. If you're making any quarantine cocktails and you want to keep it clean-ish, I would say look for this Reed's Ginger Brew, and it has to be it'll say premium ginger brew, all right? And it's only sweetened with pineapple juice. It is so delicious. Absolutely one of our favorites, and it's so good that when I see it, I try to always get 2 because that'll be it. It'll go fast, and we kind of like, you already had 2, you can't have any more. That's what happens in our house. So anyway, here is the grocery haul. And up next, what are we doing? We are gonna wash some produce. I'm gonna use some produce that I already have on hand and some produce that I just got at the store so you can see different ways to get it done. All right, produce time. Wait, I forgot to show you this. These are those little containers that I was just telling you about. I'm going to show you what this is. So I want you to take this is why I got these specifically. Look how these, look how these, sorry about the shadow. It is what it is. Look how this opens and closes. Isn't that neat? I love those. I bet I'll go back and get more. Okay, let's go wash some produce. We're going to be talking about fruits and vegetables. Full disclosure, you're going to hear my whiny dog in the background, but I'm going to keep on rolling because that's how things go. All right, so here's what you're going to need to wash your produce. I'm going to give you 3 different ways to properly wash produce, and then we're going to talk about one way in particular that you probably see in the stores, but from everything I've read is not recommended. So we're going to talk about vinegar. We're going to talk about using baking soda, and then we're going to talk about using water and the proper way to wash different things. I've set out some of the fruits and vegetables that I have right now in my home that kind of cover the gamut of the different skins on different fruits and vegetables that you may have in your home that you're wondering how to wash. So we have something here that you're going to peel that you might think, oh, no big deal to have to wash that. We'll talk about that. We have something that's a harder peel, like a sweet potato or a white potato. We've got a really soft mushroom here, and from everything you probably, this is just dirt on here, I left it on there for the purpose of the video. From everything you probably read about mushrooms, a lot of people say don't get them wet, so we're going to talk about that some more. We've got some strawberries that have the really soft skin that you're definitely going to be eating, as opposed to something like this that you wouldn't eat. You may or may not eat this kind of skin. And then I have some romaine lettuce here. This is organic romaine. I do prefer, for the most part, to buy organic fruits and vegetables, especially things that are high on the list of pesticides. But I will say, washing the fruits and vegetables, a lot of times the pesticides just don't come off, which is why I like to aim for organic. And even then, I will go ahead and wash the vegetables anyway. Will all the pesticides come off if you wash conventional fruits and vegetables? Maybe so, maybe not. So I prefer to get things that are pesticide free for my family. I do understand that there may be a cost increase where you are involved in that. So do what you can do. Having fruits and vegetables, from everything I've read, is certainly better than skipping it all together if you can't buy organic. So definitely aim to always get the fruits and vegetables in, no matter what. All right, the other thing that I didn't mention here is a fruit and vegetable scrubber. You're going to want to make sure you grab one of these. The bristles aren't like the bristles that you might find like on a scrub brush that you would use to clean with. They may be a little different, a little softer, a little more forgiving. So this doesn't go for everything that you're going to be using, but definitely comes in handy, especially for things like potatoes and things that are actually growing in the ground. All right, let's get started. The first thing you're going to want to do when you're starting to wash your fruits and vegetables is to wash your hands first. So I'm going to do that. And this is a really important step, because if your hands aren't clean when you go to wash your fruits and vegetables, well, then you're going to transfer the dirt from your hands onto what you're going to eat, and that's what you definitely don't want to do. So make sure you have some very clean hands when you go to wash your fruits and vegetables. This is first step, no matter what you're going to do. And I did recently do a video on the proper way to wash your hands. It might sound kind of elementary, right? But there is a way to do it. I'm doing it right now, but I actually break down all the details of what I'm doing in another video that I recently posted. I'll make sure that I put an iCard up there in the top right corner for you, and I'll link it at the end of the video so you can be sure to check that out. Okay, next step. Let's start with something that you would normally peel before you ate. Nobody's really eating the rind of this. You might be using it for a zest or something along those lines. But if you want to just grab an orange or a tangerine or some kind of fresh fruit to eat, you probably think that you can just grab it and move on your way. Well, to be honest, I was doing that before I did the research for this video, because I really thought that I knew 100% about the best way to wash fruits and vegetables. I was not washing my clementines before I peeled them. And just think about, you know, the dirt that might get on them. You might think, well, that's not that big of a deal, but when you peel it, it gets on your fingers and then you put it in your mouth. So you want to make sure you give these just a quick rinse in water since you're peeling them. Not too much of a big deal, so you're just going to go like this. And also, no matter what your fruit or vegetable is, one other tip is don't wash it until you're ready to eat it. A lot of people like to wash their produce early on. You can do that, but you might risk, if it doesn't get eaten fast enough, you might risk it not lasting as long or going bad before you get a chance to eat it. So once you give it a rinse, you give it a dry with a clean towel, and that's it. And then you're good to go when it comes to things that you're not going to eat the peel. Let's move on to our potato. We're talking regular white potatoes, sweet potatoes, anything that's hard that you may or may not be eating the peel of. We're going to talk about this. And one of the key things to use is a vegetable scrubber. So I'm going to show you how to properly do this. I'm just going to run some cold water here. I'm going to get it saturated. And then you're just going to scrub. And you're going to scrub all over to do your best to get all that dirt off of there. And like I said, I'm using cold water. You never want to make sure, you never want to use hot water. You never want to use soap. You never want to use bleach, as some people have recently recommended. You don't want to use any kind of detergents because you could actually end up putting more residue on there. Soap is not made for food. Bleach, not made for us to be using on food, especially at home, and other detergents. They're not food safe. They're meant for things that aren't food, like surfaces, like clothes, like cleaning your dishes, not your food. You don't want to make yourself or anybody else in your house sick. There you go. Here's my clean potato, and that's the process. You just want to make sure you get it super clean, and then, depending on what you're doing next, you can give it a dry with a clean towel or a paper towel, and then move on. Super simple. We've got your mushrooms up next. I left the dirt on here, like I said before. I left the dirt on so you could see how dirty mushrooms can be. Now, there are a lot of people that recommend just grabbing a clean dish towel. And you see that dirt on there? They say just give it a wipe and move on. For me personally, I think this would be fine if you were buying organic mushrooms and if you were cooking them, or just if you're cooking them in general. I think that's probably fine. They say not to wash mushrooms because mushrooms are like a sponge. Full disclosure, I wash my mushrooms. I can't bring myself... There's the dog. I can't bring myself to not wash them. The key here when it comes to washing a soft fruit and vegetable is to not let it soak. So a quick rinse in the water, you get that dirt off there, and you move on. Personally, if I were eating these raw, I would definitely use organic mushrooms. I think you're chancing it. Totally up to you though. Whatever floats your boat, whatever works for you and your family. You just give them a quick rinse like this. And then, just like the other things that I've mentioned, you get a clean towel, and you give them, whoops, there goes one. Clean sink too. There's a tip. Use a clean sink. You get a clean towel, and you dry them gently, and there you go. Obviously, now look, this is a great example to see. Look at this dirt. And part of that is just some of the mushroom coming off. But you dry it thoroughly so you don't have a water-saturated mushroom, and then you move on. But you are going to see all that dirt that comes off there, right? I mean, you just got to think about it. Give them a quick rinse. That's my recommendation. Like I said, other people say don't because they soak up the water, but I do. Okay, up next, let's do strawberries. If you've ever seen any of my like breakfast ideas videos, you see strawberries in there. I love strawberries. We use them as just like a side of fruit, sometimes for dinner in the evenings, for breakfast a lot, always in smoothies. I try to buy organic strawberries all the time, frozen organic for our smoothies. And tip, I get them at Costco. Such a good deal. It's like, I think 10 or 11 bucks for a big old bag of strawberries. And I actually have a video that I did on all the best deals on everything I buy at Costco. I'll make sure I link that below for you too. Put a little iCard right up here for you so you can see that Costco video once this is over. But I'll link it at the end for you too. Any other videos that I mentioned, I'll be sure to link in the description box also. Okay, for strawberries. For me, this is the way I like to wash my strawberries. I love this thing. This is a salad spinner. I'll link the one I bought below. But check this out. Okay, so you use this strainer. Gently drop your strawberries in there. And just using regular old water, you can give them a good rinse. Now, a lot of people, some people that don't buy organic or that do, have another way that they say they like to wash their fruit. And this can be for strawberries. This can be for any other fruit or vegetable because this is 100% food safe. Here's what you're going to use. Some good old vinegar. Like I said, you can use this for any of your fruits and vegetables. So I'm just going to eyeball this here. So this is 3 parts water to 1 part vinegar. And then you can drop your strawberries in there. And a lot of people say that this helps them to clean their fruits and vegetables. They feel better about it. They feel like they get more of the dirt off. They feel like it takes the pesticides off. So there's another option for you. Now for a soft fruit like this, you don't want to let it soak too long because you don't want it to absorb all that water. So once you get it in there, you're going to swish it around a little bit. You can use your hands just to make sure you rub off any dirt that may have gotten stuck on there or any other germs that may have gotten on there. Just give it a really gentle rub. And then you can do it like that and drain it, or you can just let it soak in there and lift it up and drain it that way. However you want. I probably would have done the latter first, but I just wasn't thinking. And the way you get it dry is you just go like this. Super simple. It doesn't dry it all the way, so I would also recommend getting your towel, right? I would dump these onto my towel, dab them very gently, and move on. If you're not sure about the vinegar taste, you can just give them a quick rinse, just like that, and be done. Super simple. But here's another tip. Check this out. I mentioned it earlier, baking soda. This is one way that you can clean your fruits and vegetables with something that is clearly food safe. We use this for baking all the time, right? Well, you can use baking soda to clean your produce as well. In this salad spinner, I would recommend using 1 teaspoon of baking soda. The jury is out on how much to use. Everything I've read said if you want to wash a whole bunch of stuff, like if you have a whole bunch of potatoes you're going to be peeling, sweet potatoes, or a whole bunch of other produce, they've said to fill your sink all the way up, not all the way up, but like to here, you can fill your sink up, and then to add 4 tablespoons of your baking soda. Since I'm just using the smaller container, you can just use 1 teaspoon of the baking soda. And I'm just going to eyeball it here for now. Okay, that's about, let's say that's about 1 teaspoon. And then for hard veggies, I've read anywhere from 5 to 12 minutes. You can actually soak them, and then you would scrub, and then you would rinse. For something softer though, let's say you wanted to do your strawberries in the baking soda water solution. Remember, cold water like I mentioned before. I would do the same process that I did before with either just the plain water or the water and vinegar. Just give it a quick swish in that water, and then you can lift and then dump that out. Super simple. And once again, make sure you dry thoroughly. If you don't dry thoroughly, you don't want your things to go bad. You don't want them to get gross. You don't want them to be ruined before you can use them, so make sure you dry them. All right? Now, let's move on. Last thing, I'm going to show you how to do lettuce. And we're not talking about pre-washed lettuce here. And again, I said it before, the jury's out on a lot of this stuff. But from what I've read, there are some people that say when it's pre-washed, it's just fine to use. There are some people that say, well, if it says triple washed, that's pretty good. There's some people that say, you know what, there's nothing wrong with giving it a wash anyway. You do what floats your boat. Again, I do prefer to buy organic. It gives me peace of mind, but especially for something like this, like romaine lettuce, fresh romaine, and that's specifically why I chose this for the video. I don't care if it's organic or not. You need to give this a good wash. So I'm going to tell you how I wash this. The first way you could do it is you could just rinse it by the leaf. What I read, it says to make sure you take off the outer leaves, but if you buy it pre-packaged like this, I'm not sure how important it would be to take off the outer leaves because it's closed up anyway. I would say the outer leaves is probably recommended for the fruits and vegetables that are just sitting out that you grab and bag yourself in the store. So for this one, like this leaf right here, I mean, that's, you can tell that's a little bit wilted, right? So what I would do, and you can see the ends are kind of beat up, I would just do a quick tear like this and get those tips off of there. And then I'm going to show you what I do next. for our lettuce, you can use just plain water, you can use the vinegar method, or you can use the baking soda method that we covered before. You remember that? So when you use the salad spinner, you're going to fill it up with water. And when it comes to lettuce, whether it's cut up or whether you're using whole pieces of lettuce, you're going to want to put it there in the water, swish it around just a little bit to help get any dirt that's on there. And then you're going to want to let it soak. And what's going to happen, the beauty in this is any dirt is going to settle underneath of this strainer. And you'll actually see it in there. You let it soak a couple of minutes, 5 or 10 minutes, you'll see it. Now, there are some people that like to put some fresh lemon in their lettuce. They say it helps it to taste fresher, it livens it up a little bit. You can certainly do a little squeeze of that too, whatever it is that you want. And again, you can use the baking soda method or you can use the vinegar method that I showed you before, but you just have to make sure that you rinse it thoroughly because the baking soda will dissolve in the water, but you don't want anything weird tasting. So make sure you dissolve it real well, and I would recommend doing this again, whether you're using organic or regular lettuce. Once it's soaked, you're going to lift it up, you're going to dump out your water, and then you're going to spin, just like we did our strawberries. One of the cool things about this spinner in particular that I love is you can just push that button to make it stop if you're impatient like I am. So your lettuce here is going to be not soaking wet anymore. And again, just like our other things that we've talked about, you're going to want to make sure you get a clean towel, and I lay it across the towel and then I dry it. I'll show you how I do that. You're going to cover it up and just do some little dabs to make sure you get all or most of the liquid off of there, and now you've got some fresh lettuce that is ready to go for a delicious salad. There you go. That's how you clean your produce. Now let's talk about this. This is one thing that you may have seen in the grocery stores, specifically for washing fruits and vegetables. It also says safe removal of waxes, chemicals, and soils. This is in a lot of stores, including Whole Foods. I've seen it in there. So I picked it up. And the directions just tell you that the way you put it on there, it says you can spray your produce with the veggie wash. It says generously, rub for 20 to 30 seconds, rinse thoroughly. And it also has specific instructions for soft or leafy produce. But everything that I read said don't use something like this. It said that it could leave residue behind. So totally up to you. You do your own, make your own decision for what you feel comfortable with. I did not show this in today's video because I wanted to make sure I gave you other options, the baking soda, plain water, and the vinegar wash. But this is something that people buy. They like it. And, you know, it is what it is. The choice is yours. Any questions, put them in the description box below, and then we can continue the discussion. Or if you have any of your own tips, make sure you share them. Did you like this video? Please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you share it with anybody you know that's washing their produce, which they should be washing their produce, and make sure you do subscribe as well. Thanks so much for washing. Isn't that a non-intended pun? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.